in the southern Adirondacks of NY. The witness says, "My wife and I saw what can only be described as a hyena chasing several deer across the road. The animal literally stopped dead in front of the car, staring back at us for 10 seconds before it moved off. I have been in the woods my whole life, raised with a gun since childhood, and spent my summers on Lake Champlain. I have hunted, fished, instructed archery and rifle range, hiked, coon hunted at night, owned horses and ridden horseback through the wilderness, and presently live with all kinds of wildlife on my lakefront creekside property. Well, I thought I seen it all, but I have no idea what this was, other than to say it was a hyena. It was very large. 150-175 pounds, long bushy tail, brindle, wiry, spotted, brown, black and gray coat, with a powerful predator build, thick lower jaw, rounded, diamond-shaped, triangular head with rounded ears sitting high on the head, and what appeared to be a mane running down the back originating on the neck. Its hind legs were noticeably shorter than the front and much thicker and more powerfully muscled than the front, so that the animal sloped down in the powerful rear. I have seen countless hyenas on Discovery, in National Geographic and Wild Kingdom as a kid, and there was no other option than this strongly resembled a spotted hyena. Then a few days later, we saw it again doing the same thing. There is no doubt this was not a coyote, a wolf hybrid, or a coy dog. This was a hyena. My property has a creek mouth and lakefront, with 4 fish spawns, plenty of deer, coyote, red and gray fox, fisher, eagles, turkeys, ducks, blue heron, owls, osprey, geese, ducks, turkey, vultures, and even the occasional black bear, and this fall a yearling moose. I seen it all. Especially riding horseback, you name it. I seen it and can identify it, but have never seen anything like this. As close as I can come is the spotted hyena. Similar to this mysterious cryptid is another that seems to share some traits and could even be the same thing, or something at least related to it. This enigmatic beast hails from the remote, cold regions of the north, where native tribes in the Nahanni Valley of the Northwest Territories of Canada have long spoken of an enormous wolf-like beast that stalks the frozen wastelands and is called the wahila. The wahila is usually said to look very similar to a wolf, but much larger, more muscular and heavily built, and with shorter, stockier legs that are longer in the front than in the back. Indeed, the wahila body is said to be almost bear-like in its shape and massive in quality, and it is also often described as having disproportionately large feet that are almost like snowshoes, with widely spaced toes, a broader, more formidable head than a normal wolf with smaller ears, and it sometimes is mentioned as having long white fur. At least one eyewitness sighting has described the beast as being like wolf on steroids, and standing around 3.5 feet at the shoulder, which is far larger than a typical wolf. The legends surrounding this creature say that it is a solitary hunter rather than a pack animal like wolves and most other canids, and that it has various supernatural powers. Interestingly, the wahila main territory of the Nahanni Valley is also known for its large amount of disappearances and deaths, with corpses found here having a habit of being minus ahead, leading to the rather ominous nickname the Headless Valley. Some have even blamed these mysterious deaths on the presence of the wahila, and indeed the valley is wreathed in dark legends of the numerous evil spirits said to inhabit it. The wahila has also been reported from Alaska and northern Michigan, and Ontario, Canada, also has its own version of the wahila called the Ontario White Wolf. A sighting of what sounds very much like the wahila or Shunkawarakan was reported on the National Cryptid Society, and concerns what seems to be some sort of massive, hyena-like creature spotted in a rural area of Illinois along Route 37 between Johnston City, Illinois and West Frankfort in 2008. The witness says that he was driving along at about 11:30 at night when he had his encounter, of which he says, "Ahead of me in the distance I saw a deer cross the road in front of me. Just a short bit after, a very large creature crossed the road as if it was stalking it." Illinois Route 37 is a 2-lane highway, and this creature took up 1.5 lanes starting at the edge of the road. It was hunkered down like a cat would stalk something. But this was and a cat. The front haunches were like a hyena. I couldn't tell if it had a tail. It looked more dog-like. If I had to say something it looked like, I would have to say it reminded me of a werewolf, like on American Werewolf of London. But that what it reminded me of. After passing the point where they crossed the road, I turned around to see if I could see it again. No luck. I did see the deer trying to hide in the yard behind a few trees. laying there shaking as if it was terrified of something. What are we dealing with here? Theories on what such creatures could be vary, with one of the most popular ideas in cryptozoology being that it is not any sort of wolf at all, but rather a relic population of a prehistoric beast known as the bear dog. These imposing creatures were from the family Amphicyonidae, a group of animals that resembled a hybrid between a wolf and a bear, hence their common name, and are thought to have died out on the New World around 2 million years ago and in the Old World around 10,000 years ago. It could also be that they are relic populations of the Amarukhas, which were large, hyena-like canids often called the one-crushing dogs, or that they represent some form of American hyena. Other theories point to a relic population of dire wolves, Canis dirus, which were large, heavily built wolves that became extinct near the end of the Pleistocene epoch, around 125,000 years ago. Yet other theories speculate that these cryptids could be indicative of some sort of North American relative of the hyena or a new species of large canid altogether. More skeptical evaluations point to this all being merely exaggerated reports of known animals, sightings of aberrant or unusually colored specimens of coyote or wolf, or simply escaped exotic pets or zoo specimens. Whatever they are, they just add to the menagerie of mystery monsters that prowl the wilderness beyond our understanding.